It is your Classic Metal Show right here on the ClassicMetalShow.com. The bonus track, or should we say, the bonus track from Broken Bones. It is Dokken with Can't Find This Love. And our own Kendle Peters has a show on Mondays on her radio station over there at Wilkes College. WCLH 90.7 FM. You can go find out about it over at WCLH.org.
Is it streaming?
Yeah, it streams. They do TuneIn. They do the TuneIn amp or app.
Well, if Kendall would be so kind as to email the stats and whatever, I'll go ahead and add it to our social media run.
Okay.
So that people are alerted, like, right before it comes on to go and listen.
All right. So she is going to play Dokken's Erase the Slate on Monday, this coming Monday.
Okay.
At 9 o'clock Eastern Time.
Oh, my goodness.
To promote the Dokken Warrant show that's coming up on a week from tonight, October 14th, at a venue called Penn's Peak in Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania, which is just outside of Wilkes-Barre, where she's at.
All right.
So
are you saying there's no show next week?
No, I'm going to be here, but I'm making arrangements to have Dawn call into Kendall's show on Monday.
Okay, cool.
Monday evening. So if you are a Dokken fan and you're a fan of Kendall, who isn't?
I am.
She's going to host her metal show on Metal Mondays on her radio station, WCLH. And you can listen to Kendall live and listen to an interview with Dawn live. And so she's going to have that opportunity.
Now, I know she's met Don, but has she interviewed him before?
I don't think she's interviewed him. We sat and hung out with Don back in June. Mm-hmm. And he basically made her a promise that, she wanted to get Don's signature tattooed above her Erase the Slate cross tattoo that she currently has.
Okay. And
Don basically talked her out of it, but he said, in the fall, when I come to play in your area and you still want it, he said, I will give you my signatures to get tattooed. So I don't know what her decision is at this point, but I did promise her I would get Dawn on her live show, and that is Monday night.
Yeah, I would say don't do it, please. Don't do it. Signature tats, especially if he does something stupid. Not that I think Don would, but No,
he said he would take his time and give her a nice signature.
No, I'm talking about stupid in life. Like, if he gets old and has dementia and rapes a 10-year-old or something, and you got that guy's fucking signature on your arm.
So if you've never listened to Kendall, she does a great live broadcast where she plays a lot of classic metal tunes. She's a big fan of Dokken, big fan of Metal Church.
Yeah,
she likes all the good stuff. So
if she sends me the info, I will absolutely plug it into our little social media thing and get her some extra ears to hear her interview with Rockin' Mr. Dokken.
Right. So if you want to check out her show, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, WCLH.org.
Okay.
And they have a listen live button over there, and you can just tune in and check it out.
Cool.
And Dokken will be playing. We both got a message, I believe, through the Twitter.
Okay.
That even though it's not on their schedule, because I hate that Songkick.
Oh yeah.
App, because if it doesn't get reported on Songkick, you never know where they're playing. Mm-hmm. But apparently, a CMS fan, Chris Reed, sent us a message.
Okay.
And he says, we got Dee Snider and Dokken up here on Friday the 13th in October. That's next Friday.
Okay.
over in Minnesota.
Right.
You should come out because it's going to kick ass. Big CMS fan here.
Yeah.
It's called Rock and Brats and Beer.
Rock and Brats and Beer.
Rock and Brats and Beer.
Rolls right off the tongue.
Yeah. So that's a kind of a northern thing, I guess.
Yeah. Surprised you're not going.
What, to Minnesota?
No, to Pennsylvania.
You know what? I looked into it, and the thing is that the closest airport or whatever is in like Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So it's kind of up in the mountains. You know, it's up by our good friend over there at Shadow Steel.
Of course.
Up in the mountains. So there really isn't a lot of accessible airports and things in there. Right. But yeah, I would have gone, sure, but it's not real convenient.
Yeah. Well, I'm surprised a Dokken show within 500 miles of you that you're not going to.
500 miles. Well, it is true. That is within 500 miles, isn't it?
I think, and that's about your range, isn't it?
Yeah. The one in Minnesota actually is closer.
Are you going to that?
No.
Why?
Next Friday? Nah.
Yeah.
I'll be here. I'll be here hosting the show.
Well, that's next Friday.
Yeah, I'd have to fly out, go get on a plane, come back home, and be here for the show on time.
Just drive.
Are you kidding me?
You do the first hour from your car. It's fine.
Yeah, right. I don't think so.
Why not? I've done the last hour from my car.
That is true. You did it from the parking lot of a hospital.
Yeah. So if I could do that, you could do it driving back with a rock and roll story.
Right. Absolutely. Well, they're doing kind of a 3-day gig there because they're supposedly playing this rock brats and beer thing in Minnesota on Friday.
Right.
Then they're flying in over there to the mountains of Pennsylvania to Jim Thorpe for a Saturday show.
Okay.
And then they're going over to New York to Poughkeepsie.
Oh.
And they're playing a show over there on Sunday.
Boy, after that rough road trip, they're going to need months off.
Yeah, no kidding. That's a hard road right there.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do it.
When you're doing all this flying and shit, and especially when there's some driving involved.
Sure. Yeah, and then they go to Mexico in like a week.
Yeah, they do, like a following week.
Yeah, because they're in that. That's why they won't be at Rockin' Skull, right?
Well, that is one of the reasons, I would imagine.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's good that they're still busy. I'm waiting patiently to hear this new record that's allegedly being written.
Well, they won't start recording until, later this year.
Right, or New Year. Probably New Year, don't you think?
Because I was already looking. I see that they already have dates scheduled for 2018 already.
Okay.
So their downtime will not be very long because they're playing until the end of the year. I saw that they're playing through November and into December already.
Do you think they even need a new record?
I don't think they need a new record. I mean, I think it's just a passion. It's work of passion. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Because obviously there's no money in it.
Yeah, and I mean, Don will put all kinds of effort into it, and then he'll hate it. That's always the weird thing with him. He'll put all kinds of effort, and I don't mean he'll hate the music, but then he'll hate the business again.
Yeah.
Because he'll put all kinds of effort and time into it, and then he'll be like, this fucking business sucks a dick.
I get nothing back for this.
Yeah, and he's done that. I mean, we've been directly working with him for 3 albums now, the last 3?
Yeah, well, and I'm going to tell a Chris Aiken story here.
Okay.
Before Broken Bones was released.
Yeah.
Actually, before it was even pressed or whatever.
Sure.
You and I attended a Dokken show at the House of Blues in Cleveland.
Right.
You remember that, right?
Of course, sure.
And we were there, and Don just got back from Florida because they were doing the final mix in Florida with I can't remember the guy's name.
Right.
He was an engineer down there.
Mayor Applebaum?
No. He had to fix it.
It wasn't Win.
No, it wasn't Win. I can't remember this guy's name. It just escapes me right this minute.
Right.
So the record was recorded, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it went for the final mix, and I can't remember this guy's name. He works in Florida.
Okay.
Well, Don went to Florida to work with this engineer to do the final mix on what became Broken Bones.
Right.
And he had to get on a plane and fly to Cleveland to do the show at the House of Blues.
Was it Bob St. John? I'm looking at the
It could be. I think that's who it was.
The engineers are Bob St. John, Tim Kelly, Mike Sutherland.
No, it was Bob. It was Bob St. John. That's who it was. Okay. So he flew to Cleveland, and this Bob St. John had to send him the You Send It, which is now what Hightail now, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So he sent him the final tracks.
Yeah.
While, during the show at the House of Blues, and when we got back to the hotel, all he had to do was download it and listen to the final mix, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And you were there, and I was just like, "Are you going to Don's room? We're going to go listen to the final mix." And you go, fuck it, I'm not hanging out the rest of the night. I'm tired. I'm going to bed.
Oh, it was already like 1 o'clock in the morning.
I know, but we were going to go to Don's room and sort of have like this listening party.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not going to stay here till 4 a.m.
No
way.
And you're just like, fuck it, I'm not sticking around.
That's right.
So you left.
Right.
And so we that's me and Don and John and Mick and a few of the hangers on, we all went up to Don's room.
Right.
And he downloaded the disc, and we're all sitting in the room together. Now, mind you, this was Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday. And he had to turn it in by Monday.
Right.
To
the label. Frontiers.
To Frontiers, right. It had to be turned in by Monday. And so you already left, and you're just like, fuck this. I'm not hanging out. I don't care. I don't want to listen to it. I don't give a shit. I'm going home.
Right.
So you left.
Right.
So we went to Don's room, and he downloaded the final tracks.
Right.
And so he starts playing them, and there is absolutely no fidelity at all to these tracks. These tracks are as flat as could be. It has no highs, it has no lows, it has nothing. It's just like it's just if you were to play it on a digital track, it was just a straight line. It had no fluctuations, nothing.
It was a totally raw mix down.
Yeah. And it's like, what the fuck is this?
Right.
And we were all just sitting there, and there was no highs, no lows, no fidelity. There was no peaks, no valleys, nothing.
Right.
It was just a flat, just a flat mix. And we were all just sitting there just like, what are we listening to?
Right.
This is terrible. And of course, Don, how manic he gets.
He's probably ready to throw his fucking
he was having a shit fit. He was just like, when I left Florida this afternoon, I listened to these final. What the fuck did he do? And of course, he's flipping out because he was like, I got to get this turned in by Monday, and this is ridiculous. Right. And what am I going to do? And
did he try calling him at 3 a.m?
No, but this is where Mayor Applebaum came into play.
Okay.
So Don is like, what am I going to do? He says, because at the time, Don and Wynn Davis were kind of like they were having a disagreement. So they weren't like on the best of terms at that moment.
Okay.
And he's just like, if I was talking to Wynn right now, I'd be sending him these right now. And I know he'd fix these, and I can't do that. And we're just, I don't know what their disagreement was at the time, but
right.
He and Wynn had a little fallout.
Okay.
And he goes, I can't talked to Win about this. I got to fix this. I can't turn this in like this. And then Mayor Applebaum was like the hottest engineer at the moment.
Sure.
And so he basically got a hold of him and he fixed it up.
Right.
And he was able to get it in there by Monday. But Mayor, I think he worked on it like all Sunday.
Right.
And fixed it and everything. And that's what became Broken Bones. And then the next thing I get is you and I here, track this record.
Right.
Hurry up. I need it by Monday.
Yep.
So we tracked the record and we put it in the running order that it's in.
You and I sat here for what, like 3 hours?
Yeah,
like
we listened to this each song. It's like that one goes first. No, that doesn't go first.
Right. Yeah.
So
and we each had lists, and we were trying to figure out what goes with each list. Whose list was closer to right, and
yeah, which one would flow into the next song properly.
Right. And I don't even think Don looked at it. I think he just took your email and sent it.
Yeah, that's what he did. He took our final email and said, here's the record, here's the running order, and that's how it came out.
Right. Because there wasn't one change on it.
There wasn't.
So good.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's the little story behind Broken Bones.
Yep.
So, anyway, so supposedly they're playing the Rockin' Brats and Brew and all that shit in Minnesota next Friday, and then Saturday they're over with our good friend Kendle over at Penn's Peak in Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania, and then they're playing, I believe, the Chance nightclub Sunday night over in New York. So maybe our friend Richie Hayden might be attending, because that was the greatest experience of his life.
Don is my God.
He is my God.
Don is my God.
It's too good. But anyway, so tune in, listen to Kendle next Monday evening, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, WCLH.org.
Right? Like 2 days from now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Basically 48 hours from now.
Nice.
So I will tune in and listen, and I will try to make sure that Don knows to call.
All right. Yeah, good luck. Yeah, there's no.
I have to make sure that he understands this interview has to happen at this time, not on Dokken time.
Yeah, no kidding.
So,
you also might want to make sure he's aware that this is not the CMS where he can let it fly.
Exactly.
Because he will. He'll be like, hey, how the fuck you doing?
Uh-huh.
That's always the danger with working with us, is then you get used to working with us. Dude, that's like this week I talked to Jeff Scott Soto Friday. And he's an old friend. I mean, he's been a long time friend of the show.
He's been on this show numerous times.
Yeah. So he gets on the phone and says, hey, Mr. Aiken, how you doing? He's like all happy, and I said, yeah, I don't really need to tell you, do I? And he's like, yeah, I know. I don't have to worry about shit, right? I was like, nope. And boy, did he let it fly.
Very nice.
I was like, look at this guy go.
Hail and Kill Caller, you're on the air.
Is the live record out this year still Hail and Kill?
All right, Tim. Your manager's taking your phone from you, Tim.
Yes, the DVD from last year. It's already been a year, almost a year already since the reunion.
Yeah. Dude, just think, everything about that is gone now. The venue, or not the Japanese thing, but the venue from Badlands, the radio station, everything.
Is the radio station done too?
Donezo.
Really?
Yep.
See, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, the radio station closed up suddenly 2 weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah.
I wasn't aware.
Yeah, I'm involved in a new project now with Ron. A couple of projects with Ron that I'm not really allowed to talk about yet.
I'm sure when the time comes, but I was not aware that K-Bad is no longer.
K-Bad is gone. If you go to ronkeel.com now, there is he is streaming old episodes of the Streets of Rock and Roll.
Uh-huh.
And there might be some rebirth of that somewhere.
Okay.
yours truly might be the fill-in guest host again on many occasions.
Yeah, I got to do one or two versions myself.
Well, we might be doing more. We might have to get clean.
It's okay. I can do that.
We might have to do some clean radio for some syndication stuff as fill-ins.
Right.
Don't know that to be true yet. I mean, we're a long way from there, but let's just say, and I'll say this and you'll understand, but people I know are interested in what Mr. Ron can offer. So I'm making some handshakes happen.
Yeah.
You know, and I think you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. Well, Ron, you know, as much of an upbeat guy as he is, as positive as he is,
sure.
All in all,
Mm-hmm.
that guy completely got fucked in the ass.
Boy, did he ever. Ooh.
Man, he had a thriving career in Las Vegas.
Yep.
We had him on the show prior to his relocation to South Dakota.
Mm-hmm.
And that was going to be a big change for him, being the house band, being a radio DJ, being the face of God's guns, gold guns, and rock and roll.
Right.
And all of that is gone within 2 years.
Dunzo. Sucks.
Just
sucks
gone.
Really. Yeah, but he's all, you know how he is. He's so positive. And he's not leaving. That's the one I expected for sure to get, you know, him and I have been talking. We've been working on this other project for 3 months, I guess now. And, you know, it's a really big thing that we're working on. It's going to take like 6 more months on top of this, but it's a big thing that we're working on. So I talk to Ron fairly often. And when I heard that they were, you know, crashing out the station, I was like, you got to be fucking kidding. He just interviewed fucking Garth Brooks like a week.
Yeah, no, I saw that.
Before they closed. The week before, he's interviewing Garth Brooks. A week later, he doesn't have a job. That fucking sucks. You know, but he, the one thing that I was surprised about is they're staying. They love South Dakota. They love Sioux Falls.
Wow.
So he's going to stay there. At least that's the plan right now. So, you know, it's like, okay, cool, man.
Just make the best of it.
Yeah, well, and he's doing well with the Ron Keel band. The Ron Keel band is actually, you know, getting some love and might be recording music, and, you know, there's all kinds of things going on. I mean, he's been recording music. He's been releasing them like one track at a time. But
that's the way to do it.
Yeah, well, he's got things going on. That's an amazing dude, man. The amount, you know, a lot of people say to me about how I work all the time and, you know, the amount of work that I churn and whatever. That guy rivals me, if not beats me, because at least for me, I can sit in my house and do it. Everything he does requires him to go somewhere. You know, he can't ever fucking rest. You know, like I can work and rest at the same time. He's fucking got to be on a tour bus somewhere, you know, doing something, making a video or making, you know, writing music or recording, or, you know, then he's got to run back so he can do 5 days a week of radio when he was doing that. And, you know, he's a busy cat, man.
Plus, you know, plus the health issues his wife has experienced.
Yeah, and he was there for all of that. I mean, Ron is an energetic fuck, man. There's no doubt about that.
He's a machine, man.
He really is, man. Him and I, we're perfect partners on any project because neither one of us can outwork the other one. You know, and probably neither one of us has ever experienced that in our life where, you know, you run into somebody that can run that hard. And, you know, I know I love working with the dude because he's so energetic and open to ideas. I mean, you've never worked with him professionally, I don't think, have you?
No.
You know how it goes with some people, dude. You go into a project with them and they don't listen. You know, they just, this is what I want. I want bop, 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 and that's it. You know, and it's like, okay, well, then that's what I'll give you. Ron is like, Ron, the day that we started this project that we're doing now, he was like, this isn't my project. don't take it as it's my project. This is our project, and it's going to work for both of us, and it's going to make us both a bunch of money. And when it does, it's going to be this and it's going to be that. And I was like, okay, cool. And so he was asking me ideas, and I was giving him ideas, and he was taking some and shitting some away, and that's okay, because that's a guy that fucking gets it. You know what I mean?
Well, he has a vision.
He does, but he's not cocky enough of his vision to think that
his way is the only way.
Yeah, he's not cocky like that.
Right.
He's more than willing to hear what somebody else has to say, so that they so that the end result is a better product.
Sure.
Which is cool.
Right. Hail and Kill caller, you're on the air.
Guys, it's Aussie Ace with the perfect 7.
All right, Aussie Ace, what's on your mind this evening? Why is the CMS so popular in Australia?
I've been flat out trying to get through to you guys. Tried calling last week, and
never mind all that bullshit. You're on now, so what's on your mind?
Well, let me clear up a couple of things that Tim was talking about earlier on. Anyway, I mean, where I live, there's shootings. There's drive-by shootings at sushi bars. There's a little Asian community here, so that happens. It doesn't make the newspapers.
Okay.
Okay, so that's one thing. And with regards to Chris, I mean, you can't be coddled and hidden and all that. I remember when I was living in the UK, I wanted to go to Egypt and Israel. I didn't really have much knowledge about them countries. And when I booked the trip and everything, my auntie were like, don't go there, that's bad, and blah, blah. And I had no idea. But anyway, I ended up going, so I spent a week in Israel and then a week in Egypt. Now, I stayed at the Jerusalem Hotel. The day after I left, it got bombed. And then when I was in Egypt, the day after that bus got gunned down, I was in that similar position a day earlier. So I had no idea, though, but you got to take your luck. So there you go.
Did you ever visit bumfuck Egypt?
Visit what?
Did you ever visit bumfuck Egypt?
Bumfuck?
Yeah, bumfuck Egypt.
Must be an
No.
Must be an American term.
All right.
Well, hey, I wasn't doing any fucking camel work, I'll tell you.
All right, Ozzy. So you have a perfect 7 story for us?
Oh, I've got to send you through a couple of pics and opening of the package.
I don't want to see. I don't want to see the end result of your perfect 7.
Not need to see that.
I have. Where has this shit been, man? I've needed this my whole life. It is just awesome. I'm telling you, it just lifted such a thing, and it's like the water was just opened, boom, and just perfect. I mean, I'm not even. It's that great. I mean, I'm barely using toilet paper now. It's that clean. And I just cannot believe I haven't had this my whole life. It's just made me so regular and energy and a weight off me. But what I wanted to talk about was a couple of techniques with people. Now, I noticed when you mix it up and everything, and if there's a little bit left in the cup, it goes hard and flaky. So, do you instantly clean the glass out, or if you leave it, you see, you've got to soak it a little bit to get it out.
Yeah, well, as soon as I drink my perfect 7, I swish around the little extra water, clean off the residue, drink that, and then I wash it immediately. Because if it sets, it's gonna get crusted on the glass, and you'll never get that clean.
Yep.
Okay. Well, some mornings I forget, and I think, I'm like, I forgot to. So I just soak the cup and put some water in it, soak it, and it's just easily goes away when you rinse it out.
Right. Well, I wash the cup immediately.
I do too.
Oh, I could imagine you would.
What does that mean?
Well, I mean, your house is spotless. You just bought a Dyson vacuum cleaner. I mean, come on.
You listen to the show way too close, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, sort of thing. So, you know, like, you know, whereas, you know, I'm a little bit like Chris, you know, the windows might, you know, be a bit, need to be cleaned a little bit, you know.
All right. Well, what else is on your mind there, Ozzy?
Well, I'm down to only about 3/4 of a canister now. And that should see me out until I arrive in the States at the end of the month.
Okay.
And then I can stock up, I suppose.
Stock.
But I what I did hear, really, was I heard that you're attending the Vinnie Vincent in Atlanta.
Attending the what?
The Vinnie
The
Vincent
Vinnie
thing.
Vincent, The Legend Returns.
The KISS convention in Atlanta? I have no plans for that.
Yeah.
Well, how about the special guest, Susanna Hoffs?
I wasn't aware of that.
Hoffs is showing up at that?
Bangles, Everything album, 1988. Make a play for her now, written by Vinnie Vincent.
She's married to a rich producer, and she's banged out a couple of kids. I'm not sure that I want her now, but...
Fucking crazy.
Well, would you attend?
No. It's not worth... I'm not going to go to Atlanta.
Okay. Just thought I'd ask.
She's
Did
not
you know
on
about
it.
that Bangles song?
She's not on. She's not appearing at this.
Ozzy, this...
She did
Ozzy?
work with Vinnie Vincent, so I just thought maybe, who knows?
Oh, this was just speculation on your part.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Stick with facts here. We're
Oh,
not into
right,
we're not
Ozzy.
into fake news. So you got anything else for us?
Yes, I do actually have something else for you.
Well, make
I'm
it
going
good.
to... It's really good. I went and saw a band called the Hoodoo Gurus. Now, the Bangles supported them,
Oh, my goodness.
and I met up with the lead singer. I've got some stuff signed for you.
Oh, Kevin
So
Steele?
I'll send you through a few photos.
Kevin Steele?
Who?
Who was the lead singer?
Dave Faulkner.
Okay.
And I asked him about Susanna Hoffs, and we had a bit of a discussion, and I had the Classic Metal Show hat and shirt on, and I said, I'm here reporting for the Classic Metal Show.
He's like Mark and John.
He's reporting for us.
And, had a bit of a chat, and there was a few things I got signed, and, and he told me a little bit of a few stories about Susanna and what have you, and, he wrote, I got this thing signed for you, because I couldn't find anywhere at all, one picture on the internet of the tour they did together, like a poster.
Damn it.
So anyway, that'll be coming through on the mail anyway, but, anyway, guys, that's about it for now. I'll see how the rest of your show goes. Hell and kill. Fuck you, pal. Hands up!
Boy,
My goodness.
Ozzy needs to give up the smokes.
Yeah, no kidding.
He is like huffing and puffing and breathing like he can't catch his breath.
So I saw the Hoodoo Gurus last week, and nearly I couldn't find a picture of them. Just one. Whew. And I got that. I got that picture signed for you, Neely. It's gonna be in the post as soon as I get off the shitter, 'cause I'm shitting with the perfect 7. Oh, that one felt good, Neely.
Yeah, that guy there, he's gonna end up like Tom Petty.
My goodness.
Cardiac arrest.
That dude can breathe hard. Holy smokes.
He acts like he had to run to the phone booth about a mile away to make the phone call.
And he's still running. Jeez, oh man.
Wow. Ease up on the smokes there, Ozzy.
Yeah, no kidding. Mix in some DDP. Get some breath under you.